Hi friends and fellow Earth Angels, it's Gladys and welcome back to another one of my pick a card readings. And this pick a card reading will be angel therapy for career and life purpose. So one of the messages that I've been getting lately, one of the things that I keep hearing from clients lately is they feel like they've been like on ice. Things aren't moving and manifesting keeps coming up a lot. And what I keep getting or what I keep channeling about that is we are in a space where we're getting to the root of our feelings and our emotions. A lot of Earth Angels right now are unpacking shock and trauma, programs, old beliefs, old ways of doing things, where we're purging the ancestor lineage, belief systems, thoughts and feelings and actions that are outdated from our parents, their parents, so on and so forth, community, in the corporate world. There's a lot of purging that's happening right now. And one of the things that I feel like God, Source, Creator is watching how we move through these experiences. Now, Earth Angels are on the rise in empowerment, in setting boundaries, using our voice in a healthy way. Remember, one of the things I've been saying often lately is God blesses you because of your ability to bless others with those blessings. And I feel like we've kind of been like in this frozen space right now, and Creator is watching what we're doing with that. There's been a lot of anger and resentment and bitterness that's come up. There's been a lot of pain in the body. Like people are purging their bodies, physical bodies are purging the emotions that have been suppressed. So there's all this stuff happening, and I feel like one of the messages that I want to share with you, especially about career and life purpose, is stay true to yourself. Creator is watching. There's a lot of, shadow energy out there that wants to pull you off course. It may be your own shadow within you. It could be addictive tendencies. It could be old beliefs. It could be the not enough program or I'm not lovable program that a lot of Earth Angels carry. And again, I share these things so that you can be mindful of it. It's not another thing that you have to do. Experiences are going to happen, and when you're mindful and aware of these things, you can shift it in the moment. So I feel like Creator is watching how we move through these experiences, how we rise to the light, how we rise in our own power and stay true to ourselves, doing the tough stuff with these relationships that we're surrounded by. So I'm really kind of curious and intrigued as to what the messages are going to come out in this moment in time. And I'm channeling this at the end of September 2019, but I truly believe things go in cycles. So if this is in the future and you've fallen apart in my channel and you're listening to these messages, now is the time that you need to hear it, because that's the space that you're being guided to watch. So to unpack the messages, I'm going to start with the Archangel Gabriel Oracle deck. I am going to go into the Life Purpose Oracle deck for additional messages. Then I'm going to tap into Nature Whispers and extend on the messages that came out. And then the soul's journey. What is the lesson of the experience you're going through now as the cards come out? So lessons. And then finally, I'm going to pull a final message from the Loving Words of Jesus deck. Now, Jesus is what I believe is the master teacher. He is the master teacher. He was the original speaker on oneness and connection and compassion. And he wasn't about this one's right, this one's wrong. He was about invoking or like igniting the light within us and being a beacon of light on the world for people who are suffering or scared or confused or hurting or in pain. And he led by example. And so, sometimes people are triggered by the word Jesus because of unhealthy religious upbringings and things like that. And so please, I would just say, just open up to his messages as a master teacher, as an influencer, a person who came here to spread the energy of love and light. And I think he can be very powerful on our journey as earth angels evolve here on this planet. So I was inspired and guided to pull his deck today. So let's begin. Again, I'm going to pull the cards on camera. If you already know what number you want, it's simple today, 1, 2, or 3. If you already know what number you want, you can stick it ahead, and I'll put the timestamps in the description below. Or sometimes you like to watch the cards fly out and you make a choice that way. So let me open up space before I choose and invite in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light who would like to assist today. Especially the Archangel Gabriel and my master teacher, Jesus. And I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good, and the best and highest good of all concerned with regards to life purpose and career and the Earth Angel mission on this planet. Okay, you might be very happy in your work, but you might be guided to be watching this because maybe you have a different mission. It's maybe not work related and monetary. Maybe it's your mission as an Earth Angel and life purpose in that way. So you can take it however it resonates. All right, so Archangel Gabriel, what message with regards to life purpose, career, mission do you have for pile 1? And Archangel Gabriel, what message do you have for life purpose, career, mission for Earth Angels for pile 2? And for pile 3, what message do you have for life purpose, career, mission, pile 3? Oh, I got a peek at that. Maybe you did too. It looks like a goodie. All right, so let's do life purpose. All right, what life purpose message do you have for pile 1? Okay, let's see. 2. And for pile 2, what life purpose message do you have for pile 2? That's the most important thing to know. And pile 3, the most important thing in pile 3 to know, life purpose. There we go. And additional message. This is a little harder to shuffle. So for pile 1, what additional message do you have for pile 1? Earth Angels. I'm gonna do this. My hands are small. Let's see. We'll go with the 1, 2, 3 method. On the top. And pile 2. And pile 3. All right. And life lesson. What are the Earth Angels learning? What life lesson? The Earth Angels learning. Who chose pile 1? Wow. That's way too many. We got a lot of lessons, friends. All right. 2. Life lesson, pile 2. And number 3. And finally, Jesus, what message do you have for pile 1 about life, purpose, career, mission? And pile 2. What important message do you have for life, purpose, career, mission for pile 2? That's way too many. And finally, pile 3. What message do you have for pile number 3? Life, purpose, mission, career. All right, friends. So let's push these aside a little bit. All right. Okay, so if you stayed with me up until this point, give you another moment to make a decision. 1, 2, or 3. I apologize for the glare. I'm still trying to find a good spot for my light. All right, let's begin. All right, for those of you who chose pile 1, welcome. And the first message we have from Archangel Gabriel. Oh, I love it already. I'm super excited about this. Have confidence in your creations. It says, trust in the power of God's creativity, which is being manifested through you. So one of the things I want to share right now is that earth angels can be highly creative. Creativity isn't always just like art and designing and making things, but it also can be, earth angels can be incredible problem solvers. This is why you see a lot of earth angels as nurses, teachers, therapists, counselors, healers, intuitives, because they really trust that force that's working within them. And so I think it's funny that the have confidence part is like being hidden. So what I have found with creativity is that, okay, a couple things. So first, I feel like your guides are reminding you that you have to ground your energy. You have to really connect with Mother Earth. It's almost like what my technique is, imagining roots growing from my feet down into the core of Mother Earth, where they stabilize me and ground me. Not necessarily anchor me, but ground and stabilize me so I'm connected to the earth. But then I imagine a silver cord going from my heart, up my throat, third eye, through my crown chakra, all the way to Creator, that highest vibration of unconditional love. So I'm connected to heaven and earth before I start anything, whether it is a YouTube video, whether it is my podcast, whether it is anything I begin, even when I do my sessions, I open space and close space this way. It's always a visual internal thing for me. It's not something I voice out loud, but it's my way to ground and connect. Now, the importance of doing this is Earth angels can get very uplifted in energy, and it can be really hard for Earth angels to get things done. So distraction can be a thing. That ADHD or ADD, hyperactivity, can get floated around a lot. And a lot of times you're high vibrating when you're in a creative space. But if you're not grounding the energy, or really in your masculine energy is the part of you that creates structure and order, a step-by-step process. The feminine energy in you is the creative. It's the flow of energy. It's the movement. Now, the two of those married together are an amazing combination. A lot of Earth angels now have been working on this marriage of the masculine and feminine within. And so you really need to set an intention before you start something, because I'm getting the message that a lot of you have amazing ideas that kind of live and die in the mind. There's no action towards it. And I feel like Gabriel wants to assist you in this process, and he wants you to know that lack of confidence or that not enough program can really make you overthink and talk yourself out of something, like, oh, this one does it better, or, oh, they've got more money, or they've got more education, oh, I've got children, all the things that come up that may be a block from you moving ahead and moving forward. And so I feel like this is a message that's saying, have confidence in your creations. Now, another thing I wanted to say about that is when you start creating, it increases the light within you. Light kind of builds up. And just like the yin and yang, with big light, there's also a shadow part of it. So your ego may pop up and say, you're not good enough. Why are you doing that? It's a stupid idea. You may have people that you love innocently or unknowingly, or maybe consciously, telling you should or shouldn't. It's not a great idea. Maybe they're putting all fear into it. And it happens often. When the light builds, the shadow comes in. Now, in a lot of ways, I feel like, when I'm creating something and I come up against a block, I kind of see it as creator's way of pulling me back and showing me the truth in anything I need to know. If I'm partnering with somebody, if there's something I need to do, especially with business and artwork, there's copyright laws and there's all these things, and we need to honor other people's creativity as well, because a lot of these creations, people are working together, right? If you're writing a book or you're doing something and you had an idea, checking in, if it's a website or something that you have to check on, or something that you're creating, there's this masculine stuff of structure and order that is a process into it. So sometimes that shadow can come in to pull you back so that you cover all your bases and that your foundation is steady and solid before you move ahead. So some of you may have come up against roadblocks, and you could, think of it in a way, well, maybe it's not meant to be, or maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And I feel like Gabriel's coming up to say, believe in your creations, and trust in God's power to show you truth before you move ahead. And let's say not throw all caution to the wind and saying, that's it, it's all over. I almost feel too, a lot of you who may have chose number one already have things in the works, but you might have gotten sidetracked. You may be procrastinating on it. Maybe you don't know what the next step is. And I feel like God is saying, sit with me and I'll show you. All right, so the life purpose messages that came up, interesting. Travel. Your life purpose involves traveling. And the other message that came up is healer. You have the spiritual gift of healing and the desire to share it with others. Beautiful. I love this energy. So it could be literally, as the card says, it could be somebody like being guided to go into the medical profession. It could be somebody who needs to travel to take classes and training. That might be something that comes up that's part of your creations. Let me see. Travel to. So one of the things I'm inspired to say too is traveling within. So if you are hitting a roadblock and you're not sure of what the next steps are, maybe it's something shadow, like something of the shadow came in that you feel like is holding you back or maybe has scared you a little bit. I feel like this travel here is saying go within and connect with Creator, whether it's through music, whether it's through pause. I cannot suggest strongly when you're connecting with Creator and your own divine intuition is the silence and being still and not doing anything. I can't stress how important it is to create that sacred space. That is the way within, because you're going to really be in touch with all the feelings, good, bad, and indifferent, and they're really not good or bad. It's just you're going to feel all the feelings into. Maybe you'll feel blocks, maybe you'll feel fear, maybe you'll feel like not worthy, or maybe you'll feel like really excited, inspired, and you get a really great idea. So as you're in a creative space, I think I always believe it's really important to create a quiet space with no distractions. I know sometimes people like to be on the road, or maybe people like to write and things like that, and that's all great, but I can't also speak to the power of being still and going within and listening. So the additional message, potential gateway. Interesting. So I'm kind of drawn to this tree here, like this tree of life and the heart. It's funny because the number here is 50, which is 5 is transition and change, and 0 is what I resonate with God's number, that infinite cycle. And I'm wondering if Creator is saying that there's a potential gateway that's coming up for you. You may need to travel for that. Maybe it's to meet somebody, maybe it's to take a training. I always suggest that if it's truth and it's something you're supposed to be, ask the divine or Creator to support you financially. Because I know, from somebody who's taken many, many trainings, it can create like a financial burden, especially if you have other responsibilities in the material world. So you can always ask Creator to open up space. Maybe you'll win a free ticket, maybe you'll get a scholarship, maybe you can reach out and suggest making payments, things like that. But I feel like Creator's bringing this up right now and saying, have confidence in your creations. I may be moving you in a different direction. Maybe if you've been working with one person, you might be being guided to work somewhere else, especially with this healer energy. There's a lot of shifts in the vibration of healers right now. It's just, I always encourage my clients to check in with the messages they're getting, the guidance they're getting, the things that they're watching, to make sure it's in accordance with their truth and that it feels right and it's not what they think. So that's really important. So I feel like Creator's coming in saying that there's a potential gateway coming up. It may involve travel. It may guide you to veer off course into another direction. It may require you to go see a healer, especially if you're right now working through that anger, resentment, and bitterness energy right now, because that can be very crippling on your creative energy. And with the Saturn energy that shifted went direct, we've had this purge of this energy. So maybe one of the messages is going to see a healer for some energy work, to support you in uncovering some things that you don't see. The lessons that you're learning right now, interesting piece. So it says, I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. I love this. This goes along with the healer. Now I have to say, let's say my body's in pain, or let's say I'm uncomfortable or even hungry, these emotions can come up of anger and frustration, and I just need to get home, or I need to eat, or all these things can come up. And I feel like Creator is guiding you to envelop or embody peace, have peace around you. Now, one of the things I'm also being guided to share with you is, being mindful of what you're filling your mind with. So junk TV, like the reality shows, gossip, dramas, things that invoke unhealthy emotions within you, that is almost like going to McDonald's every day. I mean, it's okay every once in a while, but it's not okay all the time. So I feel like if what you're inputting in your body, in your mind, in your spirit. It could be like a teacher. It could be a spiritual teacher, and you're just not feeling right about it anymore. It doesn't mean no forever, but just be mindful of that and ask yourself, well, what is it what is it that I do need? And some of you may be feeling the disharmony right now. So take a pause and be mindful of what is pulling you in and out of your peace. Now, it's not to blame anybody else, because it could be your own thoughts and your feelings, your own negative thinking that could be disrupting your peace. But what I also want to say is that your environment can also trigger it. So just check in with yourself and ask yourself if this is really soul food for me. It could be music. It could be, like I said, gossip at the water station or the coffee room in your work environment. And so sometimes it's almost like just get busy doing the things that you want to do that bring you peace. And then Jesus's final message, it says, I love how he's leisurely right there. Before I even read it, I want to say this is so symbolic, because so many earth angels are like, when I'm doing my life purpose sessions, I was like, well, what do I do? Well, what do I do? Well, what more do I need to do? I'm manifesting. I'm doing affirmations. I'm putting energy there. And one of my most common messages is nothing. Do nothing. Stop. Sometimes that inner masculine can be a critic, a bully, and like pushing, right? You got to do more, say more, be more, have more. And I have to say, the energy that we're in right now, it's not about doing more. It's about being, because the answers come in the stillness. If you've got problems and difficulties that are coming up, Jesus would say all the time, give it time, patience, walk away, and things unfold naturally. I cannot even tell you how many times in my life that's happened, and it's so true. So instead of spiraling about things that I have no control over, I just have to pull out and just give myself some love. So this is very symbolic in a lot of ways. And again, this is peace, right? Receiving from the sunshine in nature. So this could be a message from some of you. If you're tired and depleted from doing, stop. I know mentally it sounds crazy, but I can already hear the buts. I get it from my clients all the time, and I have to say, I don't say anything that I typically haven't experienced already. And I know the clear difference between being and spinning my wheels, and I don't want to do that anymore. And I can tell you, I'm just as provided for. I'm just as supported and taken care of, if not more so now than ever before, because I'm not carrying all that heavy weight. So his message, it says, if you have faith, I love this. If you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, you shall say unto this mountain, remove hence you yonder place, and it shall move. I love this. So I feel like, I just messed that up. I feel like Jesus is saying here, believe in me. Just like I started off at the beginning of this reading talking about Jesus. So if you've skipped ahead, you may want to go back and listen to my mini intro where I talked about Jesus and the vibration. A lot of people have resistance because of upbringing, and it really is a big disservice, because he really is a master teacher with so much information. And whatever's out there, you have to kind of take in what resonates as truth. And, on this journey of me being an earth angel and this spiritual journey that I've been on, I've really trusted Jesus to show up and show me truth, his truth, what he needed me to know about the story and the work that I was supposed to be doing with him. And it really is incredibly powerful. And so he's saying all you have to do is be open, have this little minuscule size faith, having that little bit of saying, okay, show me, or I got a lot of resistance. So years ago, I have to say, when I started my spiritual journey, God, I think it was in like 2000. Oh, maybe it was the 1999, when I was just opening up, because I was in a really ugly space. And I looked up and I said, Jesus, show me truth. What do I need to know about you and your story? And over this journey of 20 years now, oh God, to even say that, I said, to show me truth, I've maybe have gotten 3 or 4 books that have come along my path that has felt so powerful and so truth is into what he needed me to know about his mission and how I can work with him to continue shedding love and light on this planet in the way he would support. So all you have to do is be open. And in that place in my life, I had nothing else to lose. I had nothing else. Everything had failed me. I had failed myself. It's so sad. I feel emotional just thinking about that time in my life. And I just looked up at God and just said, prove it. If this is real, prove it. And I have no doubt that God sent his archangels. He sent Jesus back to me with these, even the people that came into my office and even the people that came along my path during this time that have showed up with these books. Oh, you need to read this. Or it was just so random out of the blue. And I'm like, now I see why I have another piece to the puzzle. And so I invite you to just be open to his guidance, his master teacher, whether it's working with your hands, working with your heart, working with your physical body, to support people. I think this is part of the mission. And maybe for some of you who chose pile 1, Jesus is a guide that's stepping forward to work with you or wants to work with you on your soul mission. And he's just saying, just believe in me, leave it in my hands, and then listen to your heart as the doors open ahead of you. Wow, that was so beautiful. All right, so those of you who chose pile 1, thank you so much for watching. Please, if you like this or it resonated with you, please hit that like button. The like button actually helps more people to see the video, so it helps me out. If you watched this video and you feel like it's something that a friend or a loved one needs to hear, please share it with them. And I thank you for watching, and I just send you love with heavenly hugs. All right, for those of you who chose pile 2, welcome. And Gabriel's first message to you is vision board. I love it. So he says, create a board with images and words that inspire you. So I'm already being guided to share that those who chose, this light. For those of you who chose pile number 2, the number 2 itself means have faith, have faith. So typically when we see the 2s, it's because there may be some worries and fears surrounding our mental and emotional thoughts. And I feel like sometimes having a clear vision of things can be very helpful. Manifesting, the true power of manifesting is being able to feel things in your body. Money comes more so when you're feeling safe and secure and supported. That's where money comes from. Love comes from, it was manifesting romance. It comes from feeling loved in your own body, from your own self, and then filling your life with loving people. And so, and then when you have loving experiences, being able to pause and saying, God, bring me more of this in my life, or something even better. Now, let me talk about feelings for a minute and emotion. So I am a triple Cancer. My sun, my moon, and rising are Cancer, as well as my Mercury. And my Venus is Gemini. And so my chart is dominated by water. So I know a thing or two about emotions and feelings. And for a very long time, I suppressed it and had a lot of pain in my body, a lot of depression, a lot of anger. And actually I should, enhance that and say a lot of rage. And so for these last couple years, I've really just been going in and uncovering all of this shadow stuff within me. And I have to say, as a triple Cancer, what you see or what you hear is what you get. I mean, I don't have any other parts. Like, I don't really have any earth or air or fire in my chart, let's say. Now I do on as we get deeper into my chart, but the dominant part is all water, it's all feelings and emotions. And so honestly, what you see is what you get with me, because there are no other parts but Cancer. So when you can create a clear vision and then sit with that vision and allow the energy into it to fill you, it's very powerful in manifesting. And so I must feel like those of you who chose to pile 2 with career and life purpose might be like, well, where is the thing? What is the next steps? Or where is the money, Gladys? Or where is the job interview? Or where is the next step? And I feel like Archangel Gabriel is saying to get a clear vision of how you want to feel. So if you want to, let's say you're thinking about opening a healing practice, or maybe you're thinking about shifting careers, instead of really getting stuck on, well, what do I do? Do I take this class? Do I do this? Do I do that? Because I have to say, I fell into this field. I know it's a calling for me because it's not something I knew or aware of as I was growing as a child and, as I was moving forward until I was a young adult. So I'm not one of those intuitives that just had it for many generations. Like, I literally fell into it. It was like a divine awakening for me, and I know Creator called me because of the way everything's unfolded. So you may be in a place right now where you're awakening to this force within you. God is calling you on higher levels, and it can be scary if you don't know. I mean, when I got let go from a job, oh God, I was 28. I got let go from a job. Now, I had been taking energy trainings and learning about this stuff, but I was doing it really because I was in a bad place in my life. And so I got let go from that job, and I'm like, what am I going to do? I do not want to go back doing that same work that I was doing. And I did like a lot of meditations, and, I had somebody tell me like, now is the time to do this. If you want to open up a healing practice and do readings and things like that, now is the time. And 2 weeks after I got let go, miraculously a space opened up where I could rent space. It was a very small amount of money at the time, but it was enough to get me motivated, and I've never looked back. And now here I am 12 years later. I think October will be 12 years. October 1st will be 12 years that I've been doing this work, 12 solid years. And so here I am. So some of you may be in a space right now where you don't even know what you want to do, and you're here because you're like worried and you're not happy where you're at. Create a vision of how you want to feel. If you're going through magazines, so one of the things I love to do is I love to go through magazines and just pay attention to anything that invokes a feeling of joy, a feeling of happiness, a feeling of love, a feeling of peace, a feeling of being cherished. If you look at a beautiful bouquet of flowers, cut it out and put it on a vision board. If you're seeing a mama with a daughter and they're laughing, it doesn't matter if you want children or not, but it invokes a feeling like, wow, that's so happy, that looks so fun. Cut it out, put it on the vision board. And then after you've created, and even words, I'm really good with writing. And then, so I have like a list of words that invoke feelings, positive feelings within me. And I just go in and look at the words and I just put them together, adjectives, verbs, nouns, and I just make things from words. So it's one of my favorite things to do. And so even putting words that invoke emotion and feelings and the positive within you can be very powerful, just because that feeling alone radiates out and brings more of that to you. Okay, so what life purpose message? Interesting. Counseling. So you heal with kind words, wise advice, and an empathic ear. So some of you may be guided to share your story. So one of the messages too that I'm getting is, now it's a general reading, so this may be for a select few. I feel like public speaking might be something that you may be guided to do, and telling your story. Maybe you've gone through something difficult and challenging and you learned a lot in that experience. And so Creator might be setting up an opportunity for you to speak at a conference, at an expo, at even within your office, at a wellness event. And it's almost like therapeutic. So counseling doesn't have to be you having an office, sitting in a chair with somebody one-on-one. Now, that can also apply to a lot of you out there. What I do want to say, so that's the message about public speaking. And again, that might be something where you're like, I don't know if I want to do that. That would be something that public speaking isn't an easy thing. So this may be your little nudge or little push to say, hey, this is coming, and maybe you already know it, and this is here's your sign, like you're supposed to be doing this. And it almost feels like maybe you have a story, maybe there's something you want to tell, maybe there's something that can help people, because that's what earth angels do. We learn by experience, and not always the easiest experience, and then we teach how we move through it to others, which I'm a perfect example of that. And this is how we bond with each other and connect. Another message that I'm getting for those who picked pile number 2 is those that are in counseling. You may be in a space right now where you're not happy or you're not feeling fulfilled by the work that you're doing. So your vibration may be changing in the type of counseling that you do. I had been doing a lot of training with counselors, social workers, and therapists in intuition. And I've been guiding those in those professions to a deeper understanding of their own self. And in turn, their clientele was shifting. And the way their clients were healing was more expanded. So you may be a therapist, maybe you're licensed, a clinical therapist in some way, and maybe you're not feeling fulfilled in the work that you're doing, and maybe it's the same old, or maybe people aren't growing. You know, there's a lot of stuff that can come up to it, and you're being called for deeper work. You really got to do that inner work on yourself. And I know as therapists, you know what you need to do, but sometimes it's also helpful to have the support. Well, it's for those reasons that I have my coaching programs, to do one-on-one work for people who want to grow and expand spiritually. That's the work that I do. And that might be the work that you are eventually being guided to do. So for some of you, I feel like the message is to have a clear vision of the type of clients that you want. Have a clear vision of the type of experiences that you want. So one of the things that I do is when I'm working with people and they leave and I'm energized and I'm lit up and they're happy and crying happy tears and feeling relief, and they're feeling like validated and they're feeling supported. In turn, I'm receiving that love and that support from them as well, and I feel lit up, and I always say, God, bring me more of that in my life, or something even better. See the difference of me feeling it in the body? And I know I say it often. I'm like, that's what I'm meant to do. This is my power. This is my work. And you know what happens? I get more of that. So that's kind of a message with these 2 cards here. So an additional message here is seek beauty. It's all about the feeling within. So seek beauty. I love it. Did you see the number here? 44? That's the angels. It means hundreds of thousands of angels are with you. Ask them anything. I think 44 came up in my weekly read this week. Unconditional love. I'm pretty sure that was this week with Archangel Uriel. So if you haven't watched my weekly read yet, you may want to go watch that. If you stay to the end of the video, or if you're just staying here for this one, fast forward to the end of the video, and I'll put it on the screen for you. It'll come up as the weekly read, and you just kind of have to click it. It's funny because it's yellow too, and the 44 in that deck was about unconditional love. And so here we are with seeing beauty. And so I think that's important with getting a clear vision of how you want to feel, what it is that you want, and seek out beauty. That can be a beautiful way to get that feeling, the good feelings in your body. Like, what's beautiful to you? You know, when I walk in a supermarket or Whole Foods, that's usually where I end up. When I walk in Whole Foods, I love that right when you walk in, they have all the mums out, or like in the summer, they'll have all their flowers out. And I just like to look at them. I like to walk over when you walk in and see the flowers. And I just kind of pause and take in the beauty. It's like mindful. These are the action steps that I've taken to fill my body with positive feelings, because I can tell you, friends, for a very long time, especially as a triple Cancer, I was filled with toxic and negative feelings and emotions within my body. And it was just creating more drama and more ugliness. So I had to make a conscious effort to clear, cleanse, and delete those thoughts and those feelings. Now I have to say, it's not like it doesn't happen anymore. Sure, it does, but I also recognize the way it feels and I'm able to shift it. So being able to seek beauty. The fall is a really great time right now. Sometimes getting in your car and going for a drive up 95 up north. If you are in New England, we have beautiful fall with the leaves changing color now. And so I feel like this is a message. It's almost like it's really hard to acquire, accumulate, or manifest that which you want when you're in a yucky space, or when you're in a negative space, or if you're really in a very like critical and tough space. So I feel like these are the ways for you to expand on your own work, your divine life mission, and how do you spread love and beauty? Because things are shifting with people. So the lessons that you're learning now are about failure. I love it. So it says, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So some of you may be wanting to do more or experience different avenues in your work, but making any changes can be scary, and fear of failure can be something that can be debilitating and keep you where you're at. I'm feeling with the people who chose number 2, the words, I'm seeing the words change in direction. And so if you're not feeling that now, don't discount this reading, because it might be something that's coming to you for you. And this is kind of just planting seeds so you know how to be supported in it moving forward. And this may come up for you, like the fear of failure, especially with the public speaking part, or sharing your story, or maybe it's a blog, or putting yourself out there in some way that could be therapeutic for other people. There could be this fear of failure that comes in. So I would explore where that comes from. It might be an old belief, a program. Maybe you were made fun of when you were a kid. Maybe your parents were tough. Maybe you had a partner at a very young age who wasn't very supportive. There's a lot of reasons why this can come up. And again, I encourage you to seek support yourself. Of course, part of the work that I do is divine guidance and support. So if you're challenged with something, I have no doubt there's insight that I can offer you, but there are many different kinds of therapists and counselors and even YouTube videos and things that can support you. And it's really about like being uplifted. It's really about believing in yourself and getting a clear vision of how you want to feel. So start with seeking the things that are beautiful around you. More of this or something even better. This is beautiful. More of this or something even better. That's felt kind. This feels safe. I love this. This is nurturing. This is what cherishes me. Or, even if you're masculine watching this, the energy of respect, like, wow, I really feel respected, or I really feel like I made an impact, or I really feel like I know the direction that I'm going. Like there are so many shifts in that vibration as well. And so Jesus's message is forgive and you shall be forgiven. So one of the messages that I'm being guided to say right now is maybe you've started something, or maybe you started something and it didn't really work out. And now you're remaining stuck in the space that you're in. So maybe you tried to teach a class, or maybe you tried to do something and it didn't work out the way you thought it. Well, go back and just take in the experiences that you learned from it. It might not be about the outcome, but maybe it was the process into it. Maybe it was like the steps that it took. Maybe it was just knowing that you could do it was part of it. Especially with healers and intuitives and like the caregivers of the planet, so often, people will tell me like, oh, Gladys, I put this class out there and nobody signed up, or, oh, I opened up a practice and I don't have any clients yet. And I always say, yes, that is supposed to happen. It's all about learning, and it's all about the process into it. The clients will come as you continue to show up for it. As soon as you get clear about the type of clients you want to work with, as soon as you put that energy out of this or something even better, sometimes it's about putting the class together. I mean, I have so many classes that I put together that didn't work out, and some of them that really did work out over and over and over and over and over again. And I just got clear about what people were interested in. Sometimes it's putting out a survey, or sometimes it is putting out an ABC. What would you like to learn? Or what appeals to you? Or help me out. Sometimes it's getting the opinions of others so that you have more clarity about what people want. Maybe it's not even you, and maybe just the energy isn't ready for what you're offering. Don't give up. It's not failure. And I feel like that's where Jesus's message comes in, like forgive yourself. Or if you started something with somebody and it didn't work out, forgive them. Take in what you've learned from it, and being able to move forward is powerful. And then, of course, going to the Master Jesus, going to him and asking him to guide you, to show you the next steps for support. I have no doubt, because I invoked his energy before we started, that he's showing you that this is the way. In a lot of ways, Seeking Beauty, Vision Board, and like the failure and kind of overcoming that is about being, and it's not about doing anymore. It's about experiencing, and it will all lead to this aspect. This is a very teaching and learning energy. So what you learn, you will eventually teach. So go with what you know. Try not to do things that are out of your comfort zone that maybe other people are doing, or maybe you're thinking, oh, maybe I need to do it this way. Maybe I need to do it that way. This one's telling me this, this one's telling me that. And in that moment, I'm like, stop. Go from your head to your heart and take a few deep breaths and just listen. There really is true power in that. Remember, the divine doesn't abides by the law of free will, so they don't intervene unless we're asking. So open your heart to the guidance. Forgive and you shall be forgiven. It's almost kind of like a releasing of the energy, change in direction right now. So it's not about the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and energy like that, but it's about where you're going now, moving forward. And this could be a block. It could be something that you might want to explore, shining a light on. It's not more inner work that you have to do, but it's just giving you a clear path to work with. It's all grist for the mill. It's all an opportunity to learn. It's why you chose to come here as a spiritual being in this very, very human body. All right, friends. So thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, it supported you in some way, if you would hit that like button, I'd be truly grateful, because it just helps more people see this video. And if you have a loved one that you think could also benefit from this message, please share it with them. Again, I'm very grateful. So thank you for watching, and I send you love with heavenly hugs. Okay, so for those of you who chose pile 3, welcome. Let's begin. So Archangel Gabriel's first message: ask for what you want. How powerful. So his message says clear communication with yourself, with God, and with others helps you avoid misunderstandings and speeds up the process of answered prayers. This really is in alignment with the other 2 readings that I did. They kind of all go together in a way. So those of you who chose pile 3, maybe you want to check in with the other ones. If you're starting to watch it and it's not resonating, just kind of dump it. But for some of you, there may be additional messages in pile 1 and 2 for you. Because one of them I talked about manifesting and things like that I believe that was pile 2. So ask for what you want. Ask for what you want. I almost feel like ask God, ask Creator. Like if you need more money for security and stability so that you feel safe to continue to do the work that you're doing, ask for more money. Like that is okay. I know in the spiritual community there can be a lot of that lack vibration. And I know it comes from past lives and old programs that we have and the negative energy into money for so long and the abuses of power with money. But earth angels aren't going to... Earth angels are going to give more money away than the more money they get, they're going to support people with and be greedy and hurt people with it. So you got to be mindful of your connection and your energy into what you're asking for, and that God wants you to feel financially secure. He wants you to feel loved. He wants you to feel safe. He wants you to feel empowered in the work that you're doing. So if those are the things that you need right now, ask for that. The universe abides by the law of free will, so they don't intervene unless you're asking. This is why prayer is so powerful, or asking the angels for assistance and guidance is so important. Even right to me when I'm on the road, if I know I got to take a left-hand turn because I can have some anxiety about left-hand turns or coming out of parking lots and things like that, I'll ask the angels when I get in the car, angels, can you clear the way for me? Angels, can you move the cars away so I can take an easy left turn? And you know what, friends? More often than not, I have a clear path. When I don't, I laugh because I'm like, okay, I'm being held back from something, or I'm avoiding something, or I'm just being protected. And sure enough, right after that, something opens up. So this is what I mean about asking for support, asking for guidance, asking for assistance. I think our ego mind can tell you, you can do it, you can handle it, do another thing. You have to force things, you have to make things happen. And I feel like this message is reminding you to ask Creator to assist you. Now, it may not come in the way that you want. Maybe you're asking for a new job right now and it's not coming. Maybe you're looking in the wrong place, or maybe you're being guided to make a transition in the work that you're doing. Maybe there's something that you love and you're looking for jobs that coincide with the work that you already hate or have outgrown or don't want to do anymore. And there's a vibrational mismatch. So sometimes it's going into how you want to feel. Like, I want to feel financially secure. I want to be part of a team. I want to be in a work environment that's supportive, that's loving, that's powerful, that's goal-oriented. Whatever that vibration is for you, ask for that. It's so powerful. And I say all the time that I just got really good at asking, like things that come for me, to me, through me. I just ask all the time. And I just kind of wait for the answers. They don't always come right away, but I can tell you when they do, it's powerful. And I'm also committed to, when I receive an answer, I take action. I don't delay on it anymore because it just slows down the process and the energy. So you've got to be ready. You've got to be open for the shift when it happens. So the additional message here is strength. So it says everything you've experienced in your life has made you strong and courageous. Interesting. So I almost feel too that this card is saying that believe in yourself, and you already have all of the knowledge and wisdom, and you've learned so much up until this point. So couple things. I'm getting a belief system thing here. Asking for what you want. And then also to believing in your ability to take the steps to allow it to come into your life. I also feel too there's this strength message that's coming in that's reminding you how far you've come. So sometimes when we're in this yucky space and we feel like nothing's happening or we don't know when the next thing is going to come, it really lowers our vibration and we feel weak, or we feel like we can't do it. Like, I don't know if I can do this, and I don't know if I can learn this, or I don't know if it'll work for me, and things like that. So God is reminding you of your strength. He's reminding you to take a look back at how far you've come. So it might be a money thing. It may be going into a job And if you're already depleted financially, it may be going into a job and asking for a raise. Or sometimes it's almost like going into your boss or the owner or whomever you speak to and saying, hey, can you tell me what the policy is on raises? Period. So you're not saying, I deserve a raise and I'm doing all this and I'm doing all that, because people are just going to get defensive. But I'm hearing some of you need a raise financially. And it may not be the work you're in, but you may not be feeling compensated for all the work that you're doing. And you may need to ask for more. And so, like I said, I'm really great with saying, hey, can you tell me what your perspective is on blah, blah, blah? Hey, would you mind letting me know your thoughts on blah, blah, blah? Or like I said, when you're going into work environment, can you just tell me again what the policy, maybe it's going to your HR department. Can you just tell me what the policy is with raises and increases? Or is there anything I could be doing where I can make some more money? Or do you know when I'm up for? And all that stuff. And then when you have the information, you can make a better decision on if you want to start looking at another job. But I feel like that requires strength. And I feel like creators saying, like, you already have it within you. Call on the masters, call on Archangel Gabriel. So Archangel Gabriel is the angel of communication. He helps us speak from the heart and speak from our own truth and our own integrity. So if you need to have a tough conversation with somebody, or if you need to ask for something that you need, maybe you need some time off. Maybe you need to get out of work earlier so that you can watch your kid play games. You know, it doesn't hurt to ask. You may get a no, and that's okay, but now you have more information to make a better decision, but you really don't know unless you ask. So I feel like for some of you, this ask for what you want is part of building your strength, setting boundaries and saying, hey, you know what? I need your support in blah, blah, blah. And especially if you're changing careers or you're embarking on a new journey, your family, maybe your partner in your home may need to adjust with financial support, or maybe they need to adjust with the time so that you can be doing the things that will work towards your own career path. But I feel like God here is coming in to let you know that you have the strength to do this, that you've got his like he's got your back. So let me see additional messages here. Interesting. Gratitude and depreciation. These are beautiful cards. Oh, look at the unicorn with the little girl. Oh, I love it. Oh. So right here, I'm seeing this little girl being cherished by the unicorn. Maybe some of you who are watching this are feeling underappreciated. Maybe you're feeling taken advantage of in your workplace. Or maybe you're feeling unfulfilled. And I almost want you to pause and just receive from Creator the gift of how much he loves you. Again, there's this gratitude and appreciation. Sometimes being grateful, if you can find the small things that you're grateful for, maybe after a long day, you have a family pet that, regardless of how bad your day is, comes running to you when you get home. Maybe you have a child when you go pick them up who goes running to you. This is what I mean about the gratitude and appreciation. Sometimes we're in this space where you're not happy, especially when it's work related and career and life purpose, and wanting to do more. We can get so focused on the goals and the actions that we kind of miss these special moments. So I would ask to those who chose pile number 3 to just be mindful of the things that bring you joy, gratitude, and appreciation. We have 46 here. 6 plus 4 is 10. And 10 is like, 1 is like the beginning of a new cycle. I know there's a lot of transitions happening right now. Also understand that we're ending a decade. 2019 ends a decade and we're going into 2020 next year, a brand new decade. So a lot of us are still doing this purging and clearing of ancestral stuff, from our ancestors, from our parents' beliefs, programs, especially as coming into to this world as an earth angel. There's a lot of these not enough programs and I'm not lovable programs and what about me, and a lot of mental and emotional abuse through the relationships and learning in that way. There's a lot of that comes with earth angels, and I think that makes us who we are. I think this is why we have such big hearts, because we know what it's like to have those experiences. So I feel like Creator's saying, hey, all the stuff that you want is on the way. Trust me. And pausing with finding those things of gratitude and the things of that you can appreciate in the moment. Maybe it's appreciating the sunshine. It's the small things that can also help you build your strength. All right, so the lesson that you're learning is to move through fear. It says, I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. So for me, it's like the voice, and communicating and asking for what you need can be very scary, because a lot of us, like I said, we've been raised with that not enough program, or it's selfish to ask for more. Appreciate what you have, you know what I mean? But if you're feeling like it's not enough and you feel like you're spinning wheels and you're depleted, and when you're in that energy, it just spirals and you're making poor choices with food and you're not drinking your water and you're watching junk TV. Trust me, I know. But when we can pull back in this space, when we can ask God for assistance and show us our strength, and empower us, He can help you move through the fear, the illusion of fear that's blocking you right now. Fear is a blessing in a lot of ways, because when it comes up, it gives you an opportunity to pause and reevaluate your next steps. It's not meant to like debilitate you or freeze you. But if you can think about it as a way, like, I'm really afraid to ask for more. I'm really afraid to ask for this from my spouse. I'm really afraid to ask this from my boss or my coworker. And it's easier to just do it, but I need to ask you, like, how is that serving you, right? So know that a lot of these blocks are coming from fear, and that you have the support of the divine. And they're so grateful too that you're doing this work, because without you being open, even here receiving these messages, they can't do their work, right? It's a partnership. I work with Creator, and without me being open, Creator can't work and share the messages in the way He does through me, right? And so you're being asked to up level in a lot of ways, and so He's going to assist you with this fear to move forward and empower you in the strength to really ask for what it is that you need. And then finally, Jesus's message. Oh, yes, of course. With God, all things are possible. So maybe throughout this reading, like, you're like, oh, they'll never agree to that. Or maybe you've got some negative thoughts and you're like, it ain't gonna happen. And I feel like Jesus is saying, with God, all things are possible. Remember, God uses us, and we of course agree to it, as a blessing. And you know, a lot of earth angels have been in the trenches for a lot of years. We've been in these very 3D, low vibrational energies, environments. Now, I'm not saying it as a negative thing or we're better, because there's a lot on our journey too. If you're evolving as an earth angel or you're going through stuff, come sit with me. I've learned a lot on our path, and I can really give you a lot of answers into the psychology into things, the energy into things, why things happen the way they do. That's why I chose to be a spiritual advisor, because there's a lot more that I can offer from that perspective. So, and I do know through and through, with God, all things are possible. So if you have these, like, I can't do that, it's never going to happen, they're never going to listen, blah, 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 understand that God has way more power over those situations. And so getting back to like the 3D world, listen, I was in that 3D world. So, and that was part of my evolution and my spiritual journey out of that space. And I'm just kind of in a different vibration. It's not better. It's not worse. It just is different. And so a lot of you are coming out of the trenches and you're being asked to be the example. When you stand in your power, in especially a corporate environment, in career, when you stand in your power, you really set the example for other people who want to do that, and you really empower them as well. Now, there's a way to go about it. I'm not saying like dump on people and be angry and cause chaos and drama. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about setting boundaries and asking for what you need in accordance with what feels right for you. And I feel like God is saying, don't count him out. Take him in with you, especially the Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is the angel that works with earth angels. He is like our bodyguard, so you can take the Archangel Michael in with you. Gabriel is the angel of communication. He helps you to speak your truth. Taking in Jesus with you as this reminder that with God all things are possible. And maybe the outcome won't be like what you want, but you may see that over time it shifts in another way. Maybe another opportunity opens up for you. Maybe another experience opens up, and because of that energy that you got moved, you're inspired to transition in different ways that you never thought. So I feel like for some of you, and again, this is a general reading, so it may not resonate with everybody, but for some of you, you've been focused on point A to B, and there's like C to Z options as well. So, know that your way to reach a goal or financial security or life purpose or whatever that is. Oh my gosh, there was just this really loud motorcycle outside. I almost feel like it was like revving the engines for you to kind of get moving. Know that you may think things have to happen a certain way or they need to be this way. And again, control is fear. But if you can relinquish control to Creator, knowing that with God all things are possible, other avenues that you may never have expected may open up. But it comes from you being going to the space where you're vulnerable and speaking your truth and asking for what you need. Wow, and in that comes true strength. Again, look at this energy, this force. All right. Well, I think that's all I have to say about that. I would encourage you maybe to check out pile 1 or 2 too, because there might be more messages in there that may support you. So those of you who chose pile 3, thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you or you received support by this in some way, please hit that like button. The like actually helps more people see this. So, I'd really appreciate it. And then also too, if you feel like these messages could resonate with a friend or a loved one or a family member, please share this with them. And I am going to close space. All right. So I'd like to thank all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light that assisted with this guidance for you today. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started continue for as long as it needs to be done. I especially want to thank the Archangel Gabriel and Jesus for their messages, their healing messages. And remember, friends, I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine. Trust your intuition. And I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.